Hey kids, here we are, our movie club Monday. We watched all 24 MCU movies and then we did some Disney MTU. And now we're doing the Star Wars saga and with the MCUs interspersed as they come along. So the group decided, not me, that we should watch Mel Brooks' Spaceballs since it skewers the, that's funny, the Star Wars saga before jumping right into the Phantom Menace. I beg to differ. I'm Frank Gaffney. Here with us is Amy Goldman, of course, Joel Fenster, and Mark Wotitzgartner. And the four of us, I don't think, have missed a one since we started.
I think Mark did, didn't you?
Yeah, I forget why, but it was either Ant-Man or Spider-Man, and I was pissed that I had to miss it, but I did miss it, yeah.
And Annie King is coming to us from Lake something or other. Where?
Alaska.
Oh, Alaska?
Alaska.
Oh.
Lake Tesseract. Just leave it at that.
No, Tesseract. Tesseract.
It's Tessmacher. And we
It's
have a
Fleming.
guest, a special guest joining us today, Nan Gelman, driving in her car with her sunglasses on. She is she's Amy's cousin who apparently loves Star Wars.
Yes.
Yes.
And
And
as
she-
far as I'm concerned, The Empire Strike Back is 4+ stars.
4+. And she looks old enough to having seen them on the original run.
I don't know if that's a compliment.
Well, I was certainly there on the original run. All right, so so Spaceballs, I have nothing good to say.
Why does that not surprise me?
And I don't even remember it. I must have seen it, but I don't remember it. And so I don't think I did see it before. I don't know. And Mel Brooks obviously ran out of inspiration along the way. Even History of the World started to go downhill for me. And this one, I smiled a little bit here and there, but I never laughed even once. And every joke was either telegraphed or they hit you over the head with it. So for me, I could see how 12-year-old Mark Gartner would find this very funny, but it's not funny. It's just not funny. Some things were kind of cute and clever. I mean, having John Hurt be there and then having the Statue of Liberty land on the sand, both clever ideas that just weren't executed right. I mean, as soon as you saw John Hurt, you knew what was going to happen. But this, I will say, I did not expect the alien to dance with the hat and cane. That was very cute. It was very cute.
And the same actor.
What's the same actor?
From Alien that had the chest exploding. It was the same guy. That's why he said
Yes,
not
that's what
again.
I'm saying. As soon as you saw John Hurt,
Oh, see, I don't know who, I didn't know that was the actor. Sorry, okay.
yes, as soon as you saw John Hurt, you knew what was going to happen.
If you watch Doctor Who, you'd know who the fuck John Hurt is.
One day.
Now, it's going to take you more than one day.
Yeah, that's true. 1 year.
At least 1 year. So this is how I would have directed that scene. All of them would have been around there, whatever. And then John Hurt turns around and throws himself on the table. And he'd be like, oh yeah, it's John Hurt. He was right there from the beginning and it wasn't funny anymore. But I did like the Statue of Liberty falling. But there should have been a funnier line than "There Goes the Neighborhood."
Yeah.
Something I don't know what they would have said, but it would have just been. Anyway, so whoever helped to write his other movies should have come on this one, because Thomas Meehan and Ronnie Graham were not the right.
Wasn't Thomas Meehan one of the writers of the show, Annie?
Yeah,
That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
and that was a laugh
Enjoy.
riot.
It was.
So definitely 1 star for me. That's all I have to say about this. And I'm gonna go to Annie King. Did you watch it this week? Really?
I did, yes. It was on HBO
Showtime.
Max
It's on
something.
Showtime.
Showtime
On Showtime.
and on demand, so I was able to find it.
Thank you, Amy.
And I think I did watch it when it first came out or sometime on video maybe or something. And I might have found it funny, but like you, I was just kind of sitting through it like, oh, when is this over? It was just a little torturous. Like you said, I had a couple of smiles, the surrounded by assholes, that was funny. But
This is
overall,
the thing. That's what I'm saying about hit her over the head.
and then,
Why did they
yes.
have to be called the assholes? They could have been the ash holes or something that would have kind of been like asshole, but they went right for the asshole instead.
Yeah, I like the headphones with her hair.
That was
I
cute.
think that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was if that's the funniest part to me that I remember, then I can't really say much more.
And I would definitely like to have the bumper sticker, I love Uranus.
That was cute.
I would definitely like to have that. So where's your star rating for this movie?
I go with a 2.
2-star?
Yeah, it had some funny, but it was really like, when is this over? Is this
Yeah.
over yet? It was just
Joel, don't you think it's kind of sad?
It's, in 1988, I would just graduate. I had been a year out of high school, so I was in college when it came out. And I love Mel Brooks, but honestly, once he gets out of the 70s, it's a long, slow, deadly ride to downhill with his films. And
Yeah, God forbid you should have to watch Life Stinks.
Yeah.
Uh.
It's even worse than that is Dracula Dead and Loving It. But even there's one joke in that movie that even every time I see it, I still laugh as much as I always do, and it's the dumbest joke in the world. It's when he gets Steven Weber to stake Leslie Nielsen in the coffin, and I don't know why I laugh at that every time, because the amount of blood that comes out of him, it's coming. And it's just goes on forever, and it's funny. But that one joke is the only funny joke in that movie, is funnier than almost everything put together in Spaceballs.
Are you talking just the funny thing is how much blood there is? That's the whole joke?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess you like when they vomit on Family Guy too.
No, that's just gross. This.
But he did redeem himself with the producers, the Broadway musical.
Yes, until they turned it into a movie.
Until they turned it.
Agreed.
The movie version of that musical is
Pretty deadly too.
yeah. So
They should have just filmed the show.
they pretty much did, and then they cut out parts they shouldn't
No,
have.
I meant with the audience laughing and
Oh well, they filmed it.
alive.
I think
live
they
show.
filmed it as if there was a live show going on, but there wasn't an audience, because that's
Yeah,
what it
and-
looks like. It's very
Yeah.
static.
And
Just
they
so
were
you know,
playing-
that I
they were
saw it
definitely
with
playing to the balcony.
Yeah.
I saw that with both Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick, and I think I've told you this before, but that was the only show I've ever seen where I ugly cried because I was laughing so much, and I missed lines because I was laughing so much. It was fantastic on Broadway.
Yeah.
I gotta
yeah,
tell you,
movie-
I saw the producers twice on Broadway. Once with Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick, and I forget who was in it the second time. Whoever was playing Leo, we saw his understudy.
But Bart, what's his name? Bart. Roger Bart was. Didn't he take over?
He did at one point, but this was
Okay.
somebody I don't even remember who it was, and I thought he was better than Matthew Broderick, because I hate Matthew Broderick in the show. Had a
Yeah,
vocal
I mean that
affectation
voice that
hated.
he
Which he
did.
That
doesn't
voice
have-
is terrible.
Yeah, but he doesn't have that in the movie version. So
Thank God.
anyway, back to Spaceballs.
All right, the balls of space.
Balls of space. There are some, slightly chuckle moments in it, but it's
Give
really.
us one. Give us one. What
I
makes
have
Theo Schwartz is as big as mine.
see, that
not a
was-
good point.
That's
I'll-
the 12-year-old boy's low-hanging fruit joke.
Yeah, exactly.
So to
There's
speak.
a lot of low-hanging
Yeah.
fruit joke.
Yeah.
Seeing Michael Winslow get some work again to me was
Yeah.
funny.
He was just on America's Got Talent, by the way, as a contestant.
What really? It's
Yeah.
not that low.
Yeah.
Annie's example of with the headphones, being the buns, I thought was chuckle worthy.
Wait, hold on, Joel. What about Lone Star being dressed more as Indiana Jones than Han Solo? That I thought was that
I love that.
I thought was smart.
Yeah.
That to me is not smart. That to me is that brings up another problem I had with the movie. Rewatching it this time, I'm like, this movie has not aged well by any stretch of the imagination. It looks cheap. It feels cheap. You know, for something that should have been, you know, a parody of a big budget science fiction franchise, it doesn't feel like it. It feels like something Roger Corman knocked off in a day or two.
Yeah, but they still had to spend some money on those special effects for sure.
And
Yeah,
ILM did the effects.
I know, but they just don't look good anymore. I will say I love John Candy.
Maybe George Lucas should fix them for them.
Yeah.
No.
I love John Candy in the movie. You know, especially when he introduces himself to
Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers, you know, bar. Not in here, you don't, mister. You know, and Joan Rivers, you know, is Joan Rivers. She's funny, but I love the fact that that's, you know, Lorraine Yarnell under the stuff, if anybody remembered.
Oh, sure.
Shields
Shields
and
now.
Oh, no. Yeah.
And that's the other thing, is like you gotta love that the costumes are so cheap that when Dot Matrix actually falls over, you can see her sneakers coming out of the bottom of the
Yeah.
whatever is covering the feet.
Oh, what happened
We
to
lost
them?
man.
Oh,
I
she's
think
been frozen for quite a while already.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
I thought she was just bored with us and being like,
No, I saw it was the same
this
face.
isn't
Yeah.
as fun.
Yeah, no,
This isn't
she
as
was
fun as I thought it would
definitely-
be.
And the
Anyway.
sunglasses didn't help.
I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna be a
Welcome
little more
back.
generous. Just no, I'm not. 2 stars. That's
And,
coming back.
So-
Ah, she's back.
Aim, let's go to you.
I like, you know, like you all said, I thought so many of the jokes were such a reach and so geared towards 12-year-olds, like this, you know, the assholes, and Snotty beamed me up 3 times last night. But I did have 3 really big smiles. I had no laughs. I had 3 really big smiles within the first 2 minutes of the movie. I thought during the crawl, chapter 11 was adorable. I thought if you can read this, you don't need glasses was great. And then I read, because as the ship was going by, it became a Family Guy thing where they hold
Right.
on something for so long. I started actually laughing. And then I read that shot was like 1 minute and 20 seconds long.
Ridiculous.
I love that. But yeah, it was just great.
I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, and it was.
By the way, when I watched it this week, that was the first time I noticed how obvious it was that there was just a little Lego model. It was so close up that it was like, oh my God, how have I not noticed this before? Before I guess I still had that childhood memory of it being real,
Again,
and it
that's
was so
why-
obvious how fake it was.
That's when it comes to special effects that were done. There's some amazing model work in movies from that era, and this is not one of them.
Yeah.
You know?
Welcome back,
I
man.
agree.
Hi, Nan.
Thanks.
Dan, are you actually driving or you're just passenger?
No, I'm actually driving. I'm,
Somebody call the cops.
Really? This could get scary.
It's a cop.
Do you want to
And I
give? Do
I
you
live
wanna,
in the, boon-
Yeah, she
I'm
lives in the
sorry, go ahead.
boonies.
So the reception times goes in and out.
Yeah. All right. Hopefully it'll be good when it's your turn and she's frozen
she's
again.
frozen again.
Oh boy, not
I-
looking good.
Aim.
I had a really big smile at the line because this is just my kind of line. Evil will always triumph because good is dumb. Just the word dumb cracks me up.
Because
Idiot
good
and
is dumb. Yes,
Yeah,
that's a
I
great
love that.
line.
Yeah.
He also delivers it beautifully.
Yes.
And you know, speaking of delivers beautifully, if I hadn't known the joke, because I did see the movie one in 1987, and I was a huge Mel Brooks fan. I remember walking by myself at age 10 to the Avon Theater in Stamford, as 10-year-olds do, went to see Silent Movie 4 times the weekend it came out. And I don't know if I was taught about Mel Brooks from my family like I was, say, The Honeymooners and I Love Lucy, but I just thought Silent Movie was the best movie I'd ever seen. And to this day, the producers is probably in my top 5, the original producers from, 1968. So I love him. So of course I saw the movie and I remember thinking it really wasn't that funny. But going back to John Candy and looking at when he looks at the camera and says, funny, she doesn't look Jewish, was the way he delivered it was great.
Yes.
But it was a line that everybody knows from 35 years ago now. But funny, she doesn't look Jewish. Just really, really good. And
But I again didn't know that was coming. But the
Oh.
line right before it just set it up.
Jewish
I
princess.
knew he was gonna say that.
That was a huge problem with this movie. Everything you could see coming from a mile away. Except it's a lovely ship. I think you should go down with it. Great. That was great. The nod to the Doublemint twins was adorable. And then we have my final comment, and I am only giving it 2 stars because it is a stupid movie. But the line that one time I laughed out loud was when Lone Star said he comes from the Ford Galaxy. The Ford Galaxy was a huge car.
At the
So
time.
that cracked me up.
At the
And
time.
see, that's the one line that I didn't even catch out of everything else. Yeah.
It's like saying the Nissan Altima. It's
Sure.
the Ford Galaxy. So that was
Sure.
great. And he's playing Harrison Ford.
Where was Luke
I think Nan is home
Skywalker in
now.
this?
Yeah.
Lone Star was a combination of Han and Luke, so
Okay.
And Indiana Jones.
and
Yeah.
Indiana Jones.
Well, in one of the trivia things I read was he wasn't dressed as Han Solo because George Lucas said you could do the movie as long as not Han Solo, Luke Skywalker. No, Han Solo. He said as long as you don't have him dressed like Han Solo, which is why he dressed like Indiana. It was George Lucas loved the movie.
Yeah. And that should have said everything right there.
Come on.
Really?
All right, Nan, we're up to you if you want to settle down there. I'm
Settle
getting
down with the
seasick.
kitties. We want to see the kitties.
I'm getting seasick.
I know.
Wait a second.
Oh, hello. Oh, and goodbye.
Cameo appearance by the kitty.
There's Kizzy.
Hi, Kizzy.
That's my
Like,
20
is he like on Roots? Like,
What?
is he on Roots?
I got that.
I don't think she heard you.
No, I didn't hear you.
You named the cat after Kizzy from Roots?
No, his actual name is Kismet, and I call him Kizzy.
Oh, Kizzy for short.
Kizzy for short. Yes, that's Kizzy for short.
Want to see Kizzy? Just watch Deadpool. No? Nobody?
There's a person
Got it.
in our
Thank you.
complex that has their car totally done up like it's a Deadpool car. I gotta
Oh,
take a
really?
picture and send it to
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a
Pretty funny.
taxi?
No? Should it be?
Carpool? Deadpool? I don't know. Is that what you're going for?
I'm going for Deadpool, the movie, the comic book character.
He drove a taxi?
Well, Dopinder drove the taxi, but he was in a taxi a lot. He would often
No,
drive
it's
the
not
taxi.
a taxi. It's a little red sports car that has Deadpool stickers and stuff. Whatever.
I'm sorry. I only saw the movie once. I don't remember it.
Yeah. I don't. Nan,
And it was
how did you
yesterday,
think
right?
of Spaceballs?
Since I look old enough to remember when these movies first came out, I do remember it. I did see it in 1988 in the movies. I thought it was very cute. And I saw it again 2 nights ago. It was a little boring, but I still thought some of it was cute. And when I saw the Star Trek references like Beam Me Up Snotty and I thought of Amy instantly because Amy loves Star Trek. I'm basically simple. I thought it was cute. Yeah, the special effects look like, a 6th grader might
But
have done it.
I think they played with that a little bit though.
Yes, I think they played with it. I think that's what they were going for. I love John Candy. There isn't anything John Candy can do that I won't like. So for me, it was cute. It was just long enough. They poke fun at, and I did get a kick out of the scene with yes, and I knew where it was going with the Statue of Liberty on the beach.
Yeah.
So it's also memories. So I give it a 2.5.
All right. So, Mark, how many times have you heard it was just long enough?
Too many.
I'm sorry, I'll retract it.
This,
That's the bad setup. Bad setup.
wait a minute. So this is the thing. This is the thing about a movie like this. It's like it really needs to be a communal experience. Like if you go to see American Pie in the movie and the whole entire audience is hysterically laughing and crying and you can't
You'll
hear
enjoy
things,
it more.
Right.
like what?
You enjoy
I-
it more.
I actually we watched it. We've been watching most of these movies with friends, and they had their daughter who's going off to college this week was seeing it for the first time.
It's
with us.
Joel. You keep
Yeah.
saying, is this Sue?
Yeah, Sue and Dave. And they're-
Okay. I wasn't sure. You keep saying the friends, but I figured as much. Yeah.
And Dave hadn't seen the movie from start to finish. He'd seen parts of it over the years, and Sue's seen it and loves it. And as I said, I find it humorous, but not like the best comedy ever made. But it was great listening to Sophie laugh at things because you're
Aw.
getting that she's seeing it for the first time and she's laughing at things and saying things like "that's so stupid" as she's laughing, and that is important in a movie like this because it does help.
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah,
can sit
and
back and
she-
pick it apart and be like, "Oh my God, this was just dumb."
And she has fresh eyes, of course.
Exactly.
Annie, what did you just do that we saw the ceiling?
My iPad fell.
Oh, it fell over.
It was
And
the
the
Schwartz. The Schwartz pushed it over.
Yes.
So the iPad is drinking as well? Okay. All right,
sure.
Mark. So now this was your idea to
Defend
see
it.
Spaceballs.
This wasn't my idea,
That
was
was
it?
my idea.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
this
mine
wasn't
too.
my idea.
I thought we all kind of went for it because, let's face it, we're all trying to push off the Phantom Menace as long as we can.
Exactly.
No, that's true. That's true. That's true.
No, I had
I,
mentioned it after Star Wars, and Mark said, no, wait till after the first three. So
Right.
then we were like, okay, let's just watch it after.
All right. So I'm blaming you then.
I don't
I don't
want to
think
respond now because first of all, it's Amy's fault. Second of all,
Okay, bye.
I got a bunch of notes over here that you can't even see because it's a white screen. Wow,
Right.
you really can't. It's
You got to put it in
Right
front
here.
of your
Hello.
face. Put it in front of your face. There you
There
go.
you can see it.
I'm throwing them away because of all the
Oh,
negative
No,
comments.
please.
No.
Go right ahead.
No,
Oh,
I'd rather just. I'm going to speak freely, like
Oh,
IP
goodness.
freely.
All
Yes,
right.
like
um,
IP idiot.
I am. I admit it.
Spaceball up and just say what you want to say.
What I was going to say is that obviously, just like Star Wars, age plays a factor, and I have a nostalgic factor of being a kid and so forth and watching this. And so I was 13 when it came out, and what 13-year-old doesn't want to hear
Yes.
your Schwartz is as big as mine and all that stuff, and so
Yep.
many of the jokes. I'm surrounded by assholes. I mean, that was the funniest thing in the world when I was a kid. And there are so many quotable lines when you're a teenager, a
Yeah.
young teen.
Young
I mean, everything in the movie. There's so many that even Danielle, who doesn't know movie quotes, was quoting stuff before me while we were watching it this week. So we were.
No, she was
totally-
just anticipating the line because it was so obvious.
Huh.
Come on. Anyway, I guess my point is what I was trying to say is that what I was going to say is that I try to watch it this time without the nostalgia factor because for Star Wars that's one thing. Star Wars gets a pass for me, but with this I try to be more objective and I watch as a 46-year-old, and I did see some of the stuff you guys are saying. I did think that some of the jokes were silly dumb versus silly funny, and the joke fell flat. I get it. I still laughed a little bit, but it wasn't the same as what it was when I was 13. But there were still enough jokes that I thought that it was very funny. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm giving it 3.25 stars. And this is to this date my second favorite Mel Brooks movie. So, and again, I know I've actually, yes, I know. I've had online conversations with Amy and Jeff Pliskin on Facebook about it because I think it's an age thing. I grew up with this. I grew up with History of the World Part 1. When you're a teenager, the opening scene with them all doing this, it's awkward now as an adult, but it was hilarious. It was silly. It was goofy. It was fun. It was R-rated. I love History of the World. That's my favorite Mel Brooks movie, and this is my second favorite. So I know, Amy, we've had this conversation before. I hate the original 1968 producers. I couldn't get through it. It wasn't funny to me at all. I don't know why, whatever, but the only thing about this movie is the quotes, the silly comedy. I disagree with a lot of the comments maybe because I'm just influenced by me being a 13-year-old still, but I thought it was very clever. A lot of the stuff was very clever, good parodies. I thought them doing the whole, when is then, when will then be now? Soon. And you could tell that was obviously filmed months later, right? And that's something that you want to catch as an adult, that they must have filmed that right before the film came out, because what they showed, the VHS cassette cover and most of the movie up until then was actually done. So it must have been filmed at the very, very, very end of the movie to stick it in there. I thought that was very clever.
Not necessarily.
How can they show what was actually in the movie before they edited it and made the actual movie?
They could have had that part done and ready to go on the screen almost at any time. It doesn't take that long to edit scenes like that together and then get them on a screen. And as far as
I thought editing could take a long time.
It depends on what you're doing. If you're doing something specific for a specific joke, you can get it done pretty quickly.
But this wasn't quickly. This was the entire movie up until that point.
In any event.
Anyway, I don't want to go on and on. I like the movie. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I thought I was being objective, and 46-year-old Mark is watching it, but I guess apparently 13-year-old Mark is still watching it, and I still love it. So I enjoyed it. It wasn't my idea, but I'm glad we watched it.
How many stars?
He gave it 3 1/4.
3 1/4.
3 1/4.
Yes, and that's pared down. I would have given it 3.5 had I not been watching it through 46-year-old eyes. So
You need to get your 46-year-old eyes checked.
Yeah. I saw that joke coming.
I honestly don't feel that anybody should apologize for any movie they like. You like it for whatever reason you like it, and that is perfectly fine.
I mean, when Frank does the bad movies we hate, he did one of mine, Love at First Bite. He gave it 2.5 stars, and to me, that's a 3 3/4 star movie. And I saw it 50 times, as did Annie.
That was a good movie.
Right?
Exactly.
I could still recite the lines, and I haven't seen it in 20 years. Maybe I'll watch it tonight.
There you go.
There you go.
Make sure you watch the right version.
The original with I Love the Nightlife.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Wasn't George Hamilton in that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that movie. It was very cute.
That's
Very.
a funny movie. It's better than Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Well, there you go. All right. So is that it? Any final comments? Okay.
No.
Next week, the fans were a little leery when George Lucas announced that he was finally getting to his first trilogy of Star Wars saga, and how Anakin Skywalker became Darth Vader, and their fears would prove to be well-founded. Next week, The Phantom Menace. Have you been watching What If?
I didn't watch
I
it.
saw the first one.
Yeah.
Week 2 was definitely better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I saw Joel's
Alright,
post on
so-
that. Joel's post alone got me to want to watch it earlier than I wanted to. So I may jump in.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like I kind of have to watch them and then binge watch them again before we do it. So
That's
Yeah,
probably
I've been
that's what
trying to
Natasha
keep
and I were
up.
doing on the other shows anyway, so we'll probably
Yeah.
do something similar with this.
Well, so far they're not connected.
no, but
I thought you were going to
Um,
say they're not binge worthy. Give it a chance.
Nan, are you taking Amy's role and eating something right now?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry. It's been a long day and I'm starving.
don't apologize.
All right.
Don't
All right.
apologize.
She's been working the streets of Detroit since 7 a.m. Not as a prostitute. Oh my.
Hold on. She is a police officer.
I'm not even
Okay.
going to comment to that.
Okay. All right. So thank you all for watching this idiocy again this week. I'm Frank Gaffney. May the
I have
Schwartz be
one
with
quick
you.
question before you sign off. Is it okay if I join again? Because I had fun and you guys are great.
Don't call us, we'll call you.